Enzo Fernandez has not spoken about Real Madrid, but his choices unintentionally paint a very clear picture. He calls Cristiano Ronaldo the greatest player, chooses Carlo Ancelotti as his favorite coach, rates Thibaut Courtois as the best goalkeeper, and gives special respect to Toni Kroos as the most impressive opponent. He even admits that he wants to live in Madrid, a place that brings back familiar memories of Buenos Aires. All of it, in one way or another, leads to the same point. And that makes people think of a scenario. Enzo will do everything to move to Real Madrid. Around this time 3 years ago, Chelsea fans burst into excitement watching every touch of Enzo Fernandez on Premier League pitches. The Argentine midfielder adapted almost immediately, playing a style of football that quickly erased all doubts about his record-breaking transfer fee. That was the answer to why the club's board decided to give Enzo a contract lasting up to 8.5 years. At that time, everyone believed Chelsea had found the owner of their midfield, a perfect piece for their ambition to return to the top of European football, both in the present and for an entire decade ahead. To secure Enzo's services, Chelsea spent £106.8 million. The Blues shook all of Europe by giving Enzo a contract twice as long as a typical new signing. There were two reasons behind this crazy move. First, it was a way for Chelsea to spread out the transfer cost and reduce financial pressure. Second, Chelsea were willing to take a gamble so that Enzo would have a guaranteed long-term future and become the centerpiece of all the club's plans for the next decade. For Enzo himself, the Argentine international also made a gamble by signing such a long contract. In the best-case scenario, Chelsea would successfully rebuild and return to the top, and Enzo would have everything. He would go down in Stamford Bridge history as the star who joined during turbulent times and laid the first bricks for the club's tear-down and rebuild process. On the contrary, if Chelsea continued to struggle and wander in their path back to the top, that 8.5-year contract would be nothing more than a rope tying down the Argentine midfielder's legs. And if one day Enzo were forced into a position where he had to break free from that constraint at Chelsea, there would be many consequences for the former Benfica midfielder. The second half of the 2022-23 season went smoothly for Enzo. The most expensive player in Premier League history played with incredible form in midfield. From ball recovery, ball progression, creating chances, taking set pieces, to supporting defense. Enzo did everything and carried Chelsea's midfield on his shoulders. His playing style is the combination of a complete skill set, ideal physical foundation, and the spirit of a warrior from the land of tango. When Enzo's feet are in full flow, Chelsea can do everything. And on a day when Enzo is shut down in midfield, Chelsea lose much of their strength. This happened consistently over the next 2 seasons for Chelsea. Enzo played tirelessly, acting as a leader for Chelsea both technically and mentally. Returning to the story of Enzo's 8.5-year contract. Everything would only be perfect for the midfielder born in 2001 if Chelsea quickly returned to the top and competed for major titles. After 2.5 years, Enzo has always played well individually, but Chelsea have not. Enzo is a rare stability in an unstable Blues squad, still struggling with the problem of blunt attack and weak defense. After Enzo, many new signings arrived at Stamford Bridge, but very few have proven their value or become as reliable as the Argentine midfielder. And the second scenario has happened to Enzo. Day by day, Enzo becomes lost in Chelsea's crisis. The Blues started the 2025-26 season disappointingly and sank deeper the more they played due to instability. Since the beginning of this year, the form of the Stamford Bridge side has hit rock bottom. Chelsea have been left behind in the top 4 race and were knocked out of the Champions League by PSG from the very first knockout round in humiliation. Enzo still performs consistently in the Premier League. SofaScore gives him an average rating of 7.12 after 30 appearances. He has scored 8 goals, made 3 assists, and created 1.7 key passes per match. However, one Enzo is not enough when the rest of Chelsea's squad all have problems. Palmer has suffered a terrible drop in form. Moses Caicedo and Reece James are frequently injured. Meanwhile, new signings like Garnacho, Estevao, and João Pedro still lack consistency. The Argentine midfielder has now turned 25, the age when physical condition reaches its peak. His feet are at their best feeling, and every touch of the ball carries the highest inspiration. More importantly, this is the moment when Enzo is most hungry for both individual and club titles after a long period of being a standout player in unstable teams at Benfica and Chelsea. But looking at Chelsea's situation now, there's nothing to guarantee a return to the top for the Blues. The blue half of London is still struggling in the top 4 race and is still far from even thinking about a title challenge. Chelsea were crushed 8-2 by PSG over 2 legs, showing how far their squad quality is from the highest standard of the Champions League. Enzo, no matter how much he loves Chelsea, cannot overcome his personal ambition and his own future in the short remaining years at his peak. What must come will come. Enzo gradually grows frustrated, as his future at Chelsea is filled only with dark colors. And at this moment, the Argentine midfielder begins to dream more about a new destination that can help him realize his ambition of competing for titles. Everything intensified after Chelsea's weak defeat to PSG in the round of 16 this season. Enzo's patience has reached its limit. He was furious, shouting at Philip Jorgensen when the Chelsea goalkeeper gifted a goal to PSG in the first leg. After the second leg at Stamford Bridge, when asked about the possibility of leaving Chelsea, Enzo gave an open-ended answer. Let's wait and see. There are 8 more matches, both FA Cup and World Cup. After that, I will think about it. The Telegraph revealed that Chelsea's dressing room is boiling because of Enzo. Specifically, many teammates are unhappy as Enzo repeatedly and subtly sends messages about leaving Chelsea for a more suitable destination. At a boiling point stage, Enzo said he likes living in Madrid, a beautiful city that reminds him of Buenos Aires. From Spain, media outlets continuously spread rumors that Real Madrid need to sign a midfielder with strong playmaking and distribution ability to fill the gap left by Toni Kroos. Back in England, the media keeps adding fuel to the fire by analyzing the reasons why the relationship between Enzo and Chelsea may not last until the summer of 2032, as originally planned. Enzo is the perfect option for Real Madrid to upgrade their midfield. The Argentine midfielder's playing style shares many similarities with Kroos, especially his secure ball distribution, versatility in midfield, and readiness to deliver line-breaking passes. Enzo is at the peak age of his career and has high commercial value, making him a choice that fully meets the transfer criteria of the Spanish giants. On the other hand, Real Madrid is also the best destination for Enzo's ambitions. With Real's midfield currently unstable and set for a major overhaul in the summer of 2026, Enzo would most likely secure a starting position immediately. For any player, wearing the Real Madrid shirt is the best way to compete for Champions League titles. Most players cannot refuse when Los Blancos come calling. Enzo would be no different. The final issue will be whether Real Madrid are truly determined to sign Enzo. Once the 25-year-old midfielder is determined to leave, Chelsea will not be able to force him to stay. However, Enzo's contract still has a very long duration, and Chelsea completely hold control in setting the transfer price for their most valuable player. It is certain that the price will not be cheap if another club wants to break Enzo's contract with 6 years remaining. According to Sky Sports, Chelsea would demand no less than £106 million, exactly the amount they paid Benfica. The actual figure for Real Madrid to rescue Enzo from Chelsea is expected to be much higher than that. Since the defeat to PSG, people have seen Enzo becoming increasingly absent-minded in Chelsea's lineup. The Argentine midfielder's feet are still at Chelsea, but his heart may already be in Madrid. After 3 years, Enzo has gone from a hero, a source of pride for Chelsea fans, to a thorn in their eyes. A relationship that once began perfectly, with a contract lasting nearly a decade. And when such a relationship collapses, after a short time, the disappointment is multiplied many times compared to a normal separation between a player and a club.